Well, it's actually pretty weird to record oneself and to talk into this thing, but I'll try my best. So, my name is Florian. I'm 42 years old. And yes, no more euphemisms like, oh, I'm 42 years young. I don't feel old, but 42 years does give you a little bit of a perspective on life. I guess not as much as if you had 60. But I have to admit, ever I joined the audio industry, yeah, you age a lot. Tell me about it. Music is supposed to keep you young, but this industry, Jesus Christ, yeah, it makes you like 20 years older. Um, I was asked actually to comment about the situation with reviewers and about the industry as a whole. I got invited by a couple of guys on YouTube to do an interview, but I feel that, well, although it gives you more exposure, it might be shoving me into a narrative. And since I do sometimes like to ramble on, I don't want to be cut off mid sentence. So, if you know or if you don't know, I'm one of the principals behind Claris's audio full range ribbon speakers. I'm also in Switzerland an importer and dealer, mostly importer for various brands such as VAC, Lampizator, EMM Labs, Meitner Audio, Kronos Audio, Etretat Designs, Pink Font, Telos Audio, Diamond Sound, and I'm pretty sure that I have now forgotten some brands, and they will remind me dearly that I didn't mention them in this video. Well, the topic about reviewers is one that has annoyed me in the last couple of months and years. So I'll just give you my take instead of writing a big long thing about it, which nobody's going to read anyway. I mean, 90% of all the texts written are basically written by ChatGPT or OpenAI or Gemini or whatever derivative of the OpenAI platform. So my biggest problem is that most of them are basically bought and paid for. Now, you can say, well, have you sent an invoice to somebody? Well, not exactly. You don't really get an invoice. It's a bit more complicated than that. So let me break it down for you. If you're a reviewer and you have a product on basically infinite loan until the new generation comes out, guess what? You're bought and paid for. If you have received a product at a substantial discount, guess what? You're bought and paid for. If we have sent you a lot of money for advertising and that's the only reason you visit us as a show, guess what? You're bought and paid for. And now, is it bad to pay for advertisement and for publicity? Of course not. That's absolutely normal. We are surrounded by advertisement. Car advertisement, food advertisement, furniture, useless appliance, crap you don't need. We're surrounded by advertisements all the time. Are we being influenced in our purchasing decisions? Oh, absolutely. But this is not true just to the audio field, this is true to every field that is basically affected by open commerce. So, do I think advertisement is bad or influencing someone is bad? No, absolutely not. Do I have an issue with you making a product of the year while basically getting the speakers or the amplifiers or the preamps or the accessories or the racks for free? Yes, I have an issue with that. And I have an issue with that because you don't disclose it. If you were to disclose it, honestly, it'd be fine. But let's be honest about this. If I were to tell you that I am sponsored by this wonderful person called Valerie Joyce, I got a record of her right here. By the way, fantastic musician. Definitely check this out. But if I were to tell you right now that she paid me for it, how much is my opinion actually worth? Probably zero, or pretty damn close to zero. Now, I've never met her, I don't know her. She's still a wonderful musician, and yes, I have not been paid by her, nor have I ever met her. But you get my point. If you're getting paid or incentivized in any way, yes, your meaning is, or your opinion is absolutely shrouded. Now, on top of that, most reviewers' listening rooms, they suck. Do they have any kind of steady equipment? Most of the time not. They basically change equipment all the time depending on who gives them their stuff, which means they have no steady reference, no point of reference. So basically most of the opinions are absolutely worthless. There you go, I said it. I'm gonna give you one exception. One exception only, and that's Roy Gregory from GY8. Roy has a dedicated listening room with separate foundations for speakers and electronics. Most of his system is state-of-the-art and to 80% stable over months, if not years, which means he has a continued reference baseline, and if components change, he immediately notices what the change is and can describe it to you. Now, I think he should be more popular than he actually is, but one of the big reasons he is not is because he likes to write a lot of text. And in today's day and age, people either can't read, or they cannot read very well, or they do not like to read. And you can tell this already by global news. Basically, 3 sentences are enough, and people form their opinions based upon that. So I guess, Roy, I'm sorry, but good luck. Now, Roy is my favorite reviewer by far, and what you actually pay him for is that if you want to use the review as a printable version for distribution either to clients or to industry partners, then you pay him per word written. So it's basically just as, if you get a professional writer and you pay him per word. But you only get this if you actually want to print the review. If you don't want to print the review, then of course it costs you absolutely nothing. Now, and this is something that's very, very important to understand. When we ship speakers, for example, to Roy, that's basically a 2-day job. That's shipping 0.5 metric ton of equipment to someone in France who then takes the time with you to unpack the speakers, set the speakers up, and that is simply a massive amount of undertaking. And at some point in time, you simply also have to pay for their time. And what you do is you pay for the words. And I think that's just an extremely honest way of doing business. So I applaud again Roy, and I will plug him in this video. Now, another 2 honorable mentions. First honorable mention is Christian von Hi-Fi Advice. This is a hi-fi reviewer based in the Netherlands, and he's a small reviewer, but he's a music enthusiast. Is somebody who takes great care and time to describe his experiences. Yes, he works for Tyco Audio. That's fine. It's his job. He doesn't review other streamers, as far as I know, and write reviews that are daunting or bad or anyway. So that's perfectly fine by me. Yes, you can pay him. You can pay him for the review by buying advertisement on his website. The prices are very fair, and it's also extremely transparent. I mean, if the banner of the company pops up and you just read a review by him, then you know he has received money. Has he received money for the review directly? No, but we did by advertising. But if you pay 500 euros to someone to basically work for 2 weeks, I can guarantee you in Europe you cannot live from that. So I think that's perfectly fine. Another shout out I'm going to give to Jeff Dorgay from Tone Audio. Jeff is a music lover first. He also takes great time to write a piece. He writes an online magazine, which is very long, lots of articles, lots of content, and this also has been honored. Jeff Dorgay bought speakers from us. He loved them this much. Yes, he did get them at a much reduced price, but you know what? He did buy the product, and he paid for it with his own money, which is absolutely honorable, because I can tell you that there are very large US magazines which have equipment that they get for free, and they get to keep it for free, and they get to keep it indefinitely until a new version of that product comes out. And for some very odd reasons, they always get prizes and awards. Well, you figure that out. If you are a reviewer and you have not inherited $1 million by your parents, then it is really questionable how you can have personal speakers that cost $750,000, amplifiers for $500,000, You can't afford that on a normal salary. And if you were a CIO, COO, then you wouldn't have time to be a reviewer. So the fact is, you're getting all this stuff for free and you get to keep it for free. I'm just saying, if you were to make this public, guess what? Your reviews would have even less credibility than they do now. And honestly, it's pretty close to zero anyway, so you might as well just go ahead and be honest. That's a big issue for me. I don't like to give away a product. And we have been literally asked to give products that they will keep for 3 years and then sell it off for a profit. There are even companies specialized in the United States of America that sell reviewers' products 3 years afterwards. And that's how you generate income. And honestly, I find it completely appalling. I mean, if you want to get paid by the time you spend reviewing the product and you make it completely transparent, that's fine. But again, I think the big issue is that as soon as you receive any kind of money, yes, your opinion is not 100% valid anymore. You are being influenced. Now, I think this is just a fact of life, but if you make it apparent and be honest about it, then, hey, more power to you, and someone might still actually trust and read your reviews and form an opinion. But in regards to forming an opinion, you know what a reviewer is? It's someone who listens to something and forms an opinion. That's it. It's one person's opinion. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So, we have a lot of equipment here right now in the showroom. I could tell you how much I love my Kronos Audio, and I do. But guess what? I'm also the importer. So, yes, of course I want you to love it. And I want you to buy it. Same as for VAC, for Lampisetter, EMM Labs, etc. Designs, Pink Founds, and all the other cool stuff we have here. I buy this with my own money, and I buy it because I really love the brands, I love the products. But I cannot become a reviewer for these products. Because my opinion is worthless, because I make money selling these products. And the same as if you are a reviewer and the reviewer gets $110,000 amplifiers or $60,000 preamps and $50,000 decks for free and gets to keep them until a new generation comes along, guess what? You're bought and paid for. It's that simple. If you receive money or components and in exchange you write a review and you get to keep those components until the new generation comes out, where you keep getting the new stuff, guess what? You're bought and paid for, man. It's that simple. I don't know why this is such a controversial topic on the internet. Anyway, I will stop it here. I recommend, if you're interested in a product, go out, listen with your own ears. Who gives a shit what your friends thinks, or what a reviewer thinks, or what anybody thinks? If you like the experience, the sound, and your life becomes more joyful and happy by owning that product, buy it. Just buy it. There is no right or wrong in audio. It's a completely personal preference. Oh yes, and by the way, in this system I have probably $150,000 worth of cables. You can like it, you can hate it, you can call me an idiot. Personally, I don't give a shit. I enjoy it, especially when I look at my big snake cables and the thing is this big and requires like a fucking holder just to hold these things up. Again, personal choice, personal preference. As long as it's fun, go out and do it, and I'll see you next time.